There was once this poor man living in Babylon called Bansir. He had little to no money and worked hard every day to feed his family as well as himself. One day he had a chat with his friend Kabi about financial freedom and not having to work. Bansir said, "I'm tired of working my ass off every day and barely having enough money to pay my bills and my family's food. I want to do something about this." His friend Kabi replied, "I know a guy who is considered the richest man in Babylon. Let's seek out to him to gain some knowledge on how we too can acquire wealth." Bansir and Kabi went along and found the man they were looking for. His name was Arkad, the richest man in Babylon. The first thing Arkad asked them was if they had a dream and a desire to one day achieve the fat purses they were seeking. Both Kabi and Bansir replied with a big yes. "Good," continued Arkad, "because that is the first lesson. If you want to achieve something, you need a desire so big that you'll do anything in order to achieve it." Now the second and most important lesson in acquiring wealth was taught to Arkad by an old man named Algamesh. At the time, Arkad was a young student seeking out the knowledge of this wise old man. "The most important thing he taught me was to pay myself first before I spent any of my coins. Pay yourself 1/10 of all your earnings before you spend the rest. Even if you're starving, pay yourself 1 coin, then you can spend the rest of the 9. Now, you may think that this is just basic stuff, that you're a grown man and that saving is for kids who want a new bike. This will be a typical response from a poor-minded person, yet it is the reason why he is poor. Another might say, "Well, I'd like to save, but I have too many expenses, I can't afford it." That may be true, but if you can stop spending money on unnecessary things, you'll be able to save a portion for yourself. Then 1 year from that day, you'll have more money left for yourself than what you make each month. Now, even if you were to get a 10% cut in your monthly payment, you would still be able to live, right? As a matter of fact, you wouldn't even notice it. That shows how easy this concept is to perform, and the only thing standing in the way is you. Arkad continued with his teaching. "Now, after you've saved 1/10 of all your earnings for 1 year, you'll have accumulated a lot of gold. The second part of this process is then to invest what you save. Let your money work for you instead of you working for money. The key to success is to have multiple sources of income and not rely on one simple source. What you need to understand is this. Money is a commodity that generates profit, just like any other thing. Let's say you owned a house. What would you do to this house? Rent it out, of course. You wouldn't let it sit and rot. No, that's obvious. The same concept goes for money, yet very few people seem to understand this. Money kept in the bank account for over 10 years will eventually rot due to inflation. This is why you need to invest the money you save to get an additional source of income, just like you would have done with a house." Kabi and Bansir nodded along as Arkad explained the concept of investing. "Now, don't get fooled by your purses full of gold. Many of which who've gotten rich began wasting their treasures on foolish stuff. 'Oh my god, my income is increasing. Time to buy a new car, a new house.' Congratulations, you're stupid. Do not eat your investments, children. Make them work for you too. Make your children's children work for you until your fat purse is stable no matter how much you spend. Once you've done this," Arkad finished, "you've achieved what it's like to be wealthy." Kabi and Bansir seemed to understand what Arkad had told them. Now go do this yourself, and come back in 10 years and show me the wealth you've acquired. Both Cobby and Bansier managed to achieve the wealth they most desired, and that, my friend, concludes the 4 lessons taught in this book. It's better to risk everything than hold on to nothing.